Our area of social concern is distracted driving. This project was completed by Amber Chatfield, Sarah Phillips, Jessica Shell, and Carly Thomas. When you aren't focused on the roads, things can happen fast. Distracted driving takes you away from the primary task of driving. You never know what may happen those few seconds you look away. It doesn't matter if you're on the highway or stopped at a red light. Distracted driving can cost you. It can kill.
What is distracted driving? Distracted driving is the act of driving while engaging in other activities. Distractions while driving can be separated into three distinct groups: visual, manual, and cognitive. Texting while driving is especially dangerous because it falls under all three types of distracted driving. Visually, as you look at your phone rather than the road; manually, as you type your message rather than keeping your hands on the wheel; and cognitively, as you concentrate on your conversation and thinking how you will respond rather than the situation in your driving environment.
According to a study, 69% of Americans have reported that they have talked on their cell phone at least once in the last month. 31% of those people said they did it often, and the other 31% said that they had sent or read a text while driving. Seen in the graph here shows different countries revolving around distracted driving and using their phone while driving.
According to Statistics Canada, motor vehicle accidents causing death have been at all-time highs the past few years. 43% of teens admit to distracted driving. 98% say they know it isn't safe to do so. Figure 3 shows that Ontario and Alberta are at or above the national average. Ontario data on collisions from 2013 show a driver using a phone is 4 times more likely to crash than a driver focusing on the road.
Canadian Tire and Funder. Canadian Tire is a funder that is a very large corporation based in Toronto. The Canadian Tire family are proud neighbors that help people enjoy life in Canada. Their stores allow them to work with local communities towards achievements. One of the safety programs included is driving safety.
The Alberta Blue Cross is the largest benefits provider to Albertans. They also support the dedication to distraction/cell phone free driving. Distraction-free driving is a piece of the puzzle when it comes to a safe and healthy community, and spreading awareness to the dangers of the use of cell phones and other devices while driving is helpful in any regard, no matter how big or small the contribution is.
Campaign launch. In a news article by Miranda Chant, she talks about a new campaign, Put Down the Phone, launching in high schools to raise awareness about using phones behind the wheel. The point of the launch is to decrease the fatalities involving distracted drivers, especially for the young drivers. Since 2000, fatal collisions in Ontario involving distracted drivers have doubled. Here's a link to a video we found that shows what can happen if you look down for a split second.
In 2009, our legislators understood the risk of cell phone use in a car but refused to ban it. In order to do something about it, they needed more evidence of the dangers that freedom brings in the drivers using their cell phones. Our laws have since changed, and all 10 provinces in Canada have some form of cell phone/distraction driving legislation in place.
Officers in distracted driving. There are several states that have banned texting and driving, but that do not apply to the law enforcement officers. The Washington State Patrol applied the law to their officers because they are concerned about the safety of the police. Technology has played a big role in the life of the police officers. It allows them to have more freedom while driving. An example would be the hands-free device or voice-activated commands.
Examining effects of in-vehicle tasks. A study was done to examine the effects of in-vehicle tasks. 3 main concerns with distracted driving that are specific are stopping. During conducted tests run in this study, drivers were instructed to come to a complete stop as quickly as possible. The result was a slower response time and more errors made while stopping on demand at any given time. Speed control. Drivers were told to adjust their speed to the clock's indicated speeds as they approached it. Drivers made more errors matching the clock speed while using a cell phone. Lane keeping. Drivers were instructed to stay at the center of their lane while completing a track. Drivers were very erratic in their lane control while using a cell phone.
Teens and distracted driving. Today's teenagers are always busy on their phones, playing with the radio, driving with large groups of friends. Teenagers are more likely to be distracted while driving because their minds are not fully developed on focusing on the road and not other areas around them. Young drivers have less driving experience, so they require more focus on the road than adults who have been driving for longer periods of their life. Younger drivers are more likely to be checking their phones more frequently to stay in the loop with their friends.
The number one thing you can do to raise awareness to the dangers of distracted driving is to spread awareness in your community. What you can do as a driver to stop yourself or others from being distracted while driving is set a radio station when you get in the car and don't change it, ask your friends to send text messages for you, pull over if it is safe to do so before taking your eyes off the road, advocate to your friends the risks of distracted driving, and always be aware of your surroundings. Thanks for listening to our presentation. Hope you've learned something today.